Hey, MLS Listen subscribers. Thanks for tuning in to this special 2024 election podcast. And we're lucky enough to have GAD, Government Affairs Director, Fernando Peña, Fernando Peña, with SAMCAR, the San Mateo County Association of Realtors. Fernando, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. Thank you for having me.
Oh, sure thing. Thanks for coming on. I know you're busy. The busy time, with the election coming up. And that's kind of a reason why we wanted to get this out there so quick. Because while we still have a few extra weeks before the actual election, if you're out there and haven't registered, I think it's, the deadline is going to be Monday the 21st. So if you're watching this, you got a couple of days, right? But we're going to get right into it here. We kind of take a look at, first thing we want to take a look at is one of the major propositions, right? Statewide propositions they've got out there in 2024 here. And that's going to be Proposition 33, right? So for those of you who don't know, Prop 33 essentially is going to, if it does pass, would repeal the Costa Hawkins Rental Housing Act, right? And Fernando, why don't you go ahead and why don't we start with kind of going backwards here before we talk about, really Prop 33 and what did Costa Hawkins do for us? It was what, back in 1995 that this passed?
That's correct. The act was originally sponsored by CAR and enacted in 1995. And it really has stopped extreme forms of rent control from being enacted by local jurisdictions. And really what Costa Hawkins has done is it stops cities and counties from imposing rent control on single-family homes and condos, and requires local jurisdictions to allow housing providers to charge market rates for a property when a tenant leaves their unit. And this is known as vacancy decontrol. So if Proposition 33 passes, elected officials and unelected rent boards will have complete control over rent regulations. And this is really what we're applied to all properties, resulting in, we believe, a sharp decline in housing construction and worsening our housing affordability crisis. And ultimately, it also hurts tenants as well as housing providers.
Gotcha. Because, on its surface, you might be maybe you're a tenant and you think, hey, what's so bad about, having my rent caps, right? That kind of a thing. But in reality, there's a lot of unintended consequences to this, right?
That's correct. Proposition 33 is bad for tenants, and not only bad for homeowners, but it's bad for our economy. It really makes housing financially unfeasible. It could increase rent control, would make it financially unfeasible to build and maintain housing, leading to further reduction in housing supply. And of course, we need more supply of housing, and we believe that this will ultimately impact housing supply. And it could raise rents for tenants. Fiscal estimates from the California State Legislative Office shows that Prop 33 would actually increase rents for tenants. So we're really concerned about that. And then again, for the small mom and pop homeowners and housing providers, they could lose rental income. They could be faced with expensive regulations set by rent boards. Imposed by unelected members of the community, and be forced to take their properties off the market, unfortunately, or further reducing the supply of rental housing. So there are a lot of unintended consequences, and that could impact tenants as well as mom and pop housing providers.
Yeah, it's alarming to think that without requiring a vote, right? If this did pass and Costa Hawkins is gone. Essentially, you could have unelected, just an unelected board out there in your jurisdiction, city, or whatever, right? Just making these unilateral, and there would be really no recourse against it, right? That's just what would happen. And in terms of you're the, not the tenant, but if you're the homeowner and this is an income property, you wouldn't, rent control, you wouldn't be able to put that out there, if that tenant did leave. You wouldn't be able to then set that, up to the, that rent up to whatever the value of the market is, right?
That's right. And it really eliminates some basic homeowner rights and protections. And you're absolutely right about these unelected boards who could eventually be in control. It would allow elected officials, as I mentioned, to set up these unelected government boards that will impose and expand rent control without public input, leading to costly and burdensome regulations that really don't even consider the actual costs and realities of doing business, being a housing provider. So, yes, you're absolutely right. I think these unelected government boards, rent control type boards, would really hurt basic homeowner rights and protections.
And this isn't the first time, right? I mean, this has been on the ballot for how many years? I mean, I remember Prop 10 and is this like the third or fourth time? It almost seems like every year it comes back. I think you guys have a term for this, like a skeleton, with a skeleton or whatever, because it keeps coming back, or a zombie bill, right?
Zombie bill, zombie ballot measure. So, yes, you're absolutely right. 60% of California voters rejected similar rent control measures back in 2018 and 2020. And those measures, of course, were seen as flawed because they worsened the housing crisis. And Prop 33 is no different.
And so CAR is obviously against this, and SAMCAR is obviously against this as well, right? So it's a vote no on 33, isn't it?
Yes, that's correct. We're encouraging our members to vote no on Proposition 33 for many of the reasons that we've talked about, and so many others. As I mentioned, we believe it's bad for tenants, bad for homeowners. It threatens to worsen California's already suffering housing market. It eliminates the basic homeowner rights and protections that for single-family homeowners and condo owners that we've enjoyed over the years. And it expands rent control without protections for homeowners and tenants. So for these and so many other reasons, we're joining with the coalition of a lot of organizations like the California Apartment Association, of course, the California Association of Realtors, and all the local association of realtors up and down the state to defeat Proposition 33.
Gotcha. Beautiful. And we're going to circle back toward the end a little bit. I'll kind of, what kind of a call to action, what our subscribers can actually do to defeat this Prop 33. But before we do that, there's other things on the ballot as well. I think one measure was Measure T that was going to replace, I think, Measure Y, right? Do you want to talk a little bit about that as well?
Sure. One of the things that we listed on our SAMCAR voter guide is our support for Measure T in the city of San Mateo. And really what Measure T does is it amends Measure Y, and it allows San Mateo to really be smart about how it meets California state law requirements by locating new housing in designated locations. I believe they're looking at 10 designated areas, and these are areas like near existing infrastructure, near transit hubs, shops, along El Camino Real in the portion that it falls in within the city of San Mateo, and of course near the Caltrain stations. And we believe that addressing these height and density limits through Measure T, it will allow for greater economic growth in our community and for greater transit use. And this is really what the proponents of Measure T are saying. And, not only that, but reducing vehicle trips, traffic congestion, and greenhouse gas emissions. But, for example, if these homes are built in downtown, that will encourage patronage of the local businesses and jumpstart the economy for local businesses downtown, and of course help commuters to live near transit hubs, as I mentioned. So a lot of positives for Measure T, and it provides affordable housing, helps, like I said, our small businesses, and protects essential city services. And the most important thing is it really helps the city address the state housing mandates.
Yeah, anything to do with affordable housing, you got. I think most people's here, right? And you guys have, SAMCAR's got a great website. I went there and I saw you guys have a voter guide on your website that people could take a look at. That kind of goes down because not only talking about the propositions, statewide propositions, that are supported or maybe are neutral or opposed. You've got it on there, but also in terms of for office, who's running for the various office candidates, right, as well, for the local endorsements, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we've been very, very busy this year. I staff 3 government affairs committees. We have one for the Peninsula, one for the Coast Side, and one in Pacifica. And realtors meet monthly to discuss various political issues and local candidate races. I also staff our local candidate recommendation committee, and this is the committee that is works to interview local city council, mayoral, and San Mateo County Board of Supervisor candidates. So we interview and we endorse and provide political contributions through the local candidate recommendation committee. And yes, we've been very, very busy this year. Our voter guide is something that our members can look at to see the endorsed candidates. We also included the ballot measure positions that our state trade association has taken. So those are included there, and just some background information about how our local candidate recommendation committee comes to their support of these candidates. But so many, candidates, so many cities, so many important races. SAMCAR likes to align ourselves with candidates who are, working with us on securing private property rights and promoting homeownership. And, we are opposed to strict rent control policies and rental registries, those type of issues. And we work to, support candidates who are reasonable or open to pros and cons of an issue. And we're really excited about the slate of candidates that we put in this voter guide. A lot of wonderful people who have stepped up in their various communities to run for these local offices. It's not easy, and it's expensive, and it's very, very time consuming. We're happy that SAMCAR is in a position to, work with these candidates and support them as well. So please.
Yeah, the voter guide. Yeah. You guys have a great voter guide. I mean, it makes it simple because, there's a lot out there, right? At the local level, there's a lot of decisions down there. And so it does really kind of a nice, easy way to see who you guys are endorsing. Now, so this committee, the LCRC committee, you guys endorse the candidate, that goes into the board of directors, and then your board of directors votes to, improve that endorsement. Is that pretty much it? That's
correct. They interview the candidates and they vote to endorse them. The endorsement process does go to the board of directors for approval. So the candidates have not only the local candidate recommendation endorsement, but the endorsement of the board of directors at SAMCAR.
That's right. Yeah, really important stuff. And it's, we all get so maybe kind of tunnel vision on the national level, obviously, at these elections. But these local elections really are so important, especially for doing business, where we're at. So I encourage everyone to go there. And, in terms of, in addition to that, you guys have a toolkit, right? I saw there was a toolkit on there. I wanted to ask you about. It was basically a No on Prop 33 toolkit that's available on the SAMCAR site. So what does that kind of entail?
That's right. Working with our state trade association, the California Association of Realtors, we do have a toolkit that we placed on the samcar.org website, and that allows our members to go there to get talking points, to get key messaging, so they can share with their clients, they can share with their family members, and community members as well, and also social media. We have logos and graphics, and but the most important thing is the information that we provide our members to, on key messaging and to be on point, so they can be ambassadors, if you will. And as a matter of fact, we do have an ambassador section on the website where members who want to get more actively involved in the No on Proposition 33 campaign, they get weekly emails, they get social media information and data that they can share more specifically with their clients. It's a great tool. We have a lot of realtors and affiliates who are taking advantage of the ambassador program. And really what they're doing is helping us get the word out on why we're encouraging our members to vote no on Proposition 33.
Fantastic. Maybe we could put a link on that in our description here for this podcast here, just so everybody knows where to go. But, like we mentioned, Monday the 21st could be the last day to register. If you haven't, hopefully they have. Let's say they have registered already, and they want to go out and vote. What's kind of, because you guys need, it takes a lot, right? Door knocking, sign waving, phone banking, right?
Right.
A lot of different stuff. So I guess kind of the call to action here to kind of wrap up here. We got, the endorsement no on 33, they're in control. What would you say to an agent, or, subscriber out there who says, I really want to get involved. I know it's late in the game, but there's still a few weeks left and I want to get this past the finish line, right? What can I do?
Well, first of all, make sure you're registered to vote. So we're still encouraging our members to register. You have just a few more days left. You may register at any time, but to be eligible to vote for the upcoming election, your voter registration form must be submitted online by midnight, no later than 15 days before the election. So that's early next week. But if you missed the deadline to register to vote, you can always vote under the conditional voter registration until 8 p.m. on Election Day at any vote center here in San Mateo County. But you're right. It's campaign election season. Ballots have dropped, and our SAMCAR endorsed candidates need our help. We're constantly talking to our members and encouraging them to get involved in these campaigns. These are local residents, local citizens who putting themselves out there on behalf of the community. And we're a good organization. We're an advocacy organization. We encourage our members to get involved in such things as, like I said, sign waving, walking precincts, or just writing a check to the campaign. And one of the things that we did we're encouraging our members to visit samcar.org, where that complete list of endorsed candidates that we talked about. And there are actually some links there to the candidate websites, and goes directly to the volunteer sections. And you can sign up to help the candidates and see what days they're walking, what days they need help for sign waving. And of course, you can always donate financially to the campaigns. They're still in great need of finances to finance their campaigns. And as I mentioned earlier, these campaigns aren't cheap, and they need money for mailers and for yard signs and those type of things. We're also encouraging our members to stop by our office. We have no on Proposition 33 signs available. You can use them for yard signs, or you can put them up on your windowsill in your broker offices, those type of things. So, a lot of great ways you can still stay involved. We're also encouraging our members to look at helping us in 2025 and preparation for 2026 by getting involved in our Peninsula Government Affairs Committee, Coastside Government Affairs Committee, or Pacifica Government Affairs Committee, where we talk about issues and political issues. We address the agendas that the planning commissions are undertaking, the city councils are undertaking, and then we encourage members to get mobilized when there are particular of interest, issues of interest to realtors and our affiliates. So a lot of ways to get involved, and we thank our members. It's been a long year. It's been a tough year. We've thrown a lot on them, on their plates with these elections, and just on top of our day jobs. I'm out there working during the day on policy issues and doing my regular job, but on nights and weekends, myself and our fellow realtors and affiliates are volunteering on campaigns. It's 20 more days, and they'll be behind us. But I think at the end, I think we're going to be very, very happy with the people that we helped get elected.
Well said. Yeah, it's a fantastic job by you and all SAMCAR. You guys do a great job. The site's fantastic. I encourage everyone to go there, take a look. And you're right. It doesn't just end on November 6th. right after the vote. Right, this it's the next year, and like we said earlier, and what is this, the third or fourth time the rent control they've come after? So the fight keeps on going. So keep fighting that good fight. And Fernando, I really want to thank you for taking the time here and letting us know, educating us on all these issues. Again, you guys do a great job. We'll see what happens after the 5th, and you're always welcome back to after the election, after it all shakes out. We'll see how it goes, and I'd love to have you on back to talk. I'm sure there's more measures and more votes needed, right? So
That's
thank
right.
you so much.
Well, thank you on behalf of the San Mateo County Association of Realtors for having me here today. And we love MLS listings, and just happy to be here. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, and thanks everybody for tuning in.
All right, thank you.